we have a new balance patch, so let's just go over the patch notes and hopefully find some cool new things to play in these nodes. We're going to start with a Tyranitar actually getting a buff for stats. Left side, you're just going to see text. Right side, you're going to see the numbers. Sadly, there's nothing that has kind of both combined, because on the right, it's just Google Translate, so certain things will be quite hard to understand. So yeah, Tyranitar getting more defense and more special defense. Another thing that I feel like these kind of buffs I never really like too much. I feel like they don't make a lot of sense. But also getting more HP early game as well. So they're just making Tyranitar's early game a bit better. So Larvitar, Pupitar. But I feel like those kind of buffs never really mean all too much. They really don't matter whatsoever. Then we have next Centum. Effects on opposing Pokemon strength. Duration of the effects of opposing Pokemon increase. So I assume it slows more now. We can see on the right side. It stuns for half a second more when you jump on someone. And then also we have Centum slowing for 10% more. So that sounds pretty good already. And then we also have a buff to Stone Edge, where it's just faster now. The motion, or what it says, the time needed for this move to activate has been shortened. So that's quite nice. So Stone Edge always felt like it just takes too long to cast, right? You're just kind of standing still for way too long on the same position, which is just very frustrating. So yeah, that's honestly, that's probably, we're going to see how it looks in game. Of course, we're going to have a lot of videos today about these buffed builds. And next up, we have Delphox. We have now Fire Spin getting a nerf, which I think is good. I think they should have never buffed Fire Spin to begin with, let's be very honest. So the sword duration 1 second lower, and also the cooldown half a second lower. So it's still less than before cooldown, but they realized, yeah, maybe Fire Spin buffing wasn't the smartest idea. You know, it's just too much CC. I think, you know, Fire Spin was already quite annoying. And making it up much more often is pretty painful. Maybe they saw my tweet where I got Fire Spin like 3 times in like 10 seconds and decided to, yeah, maybe I'm gonna nerf this a tiny bit. And then we also have Fire Blast, longer cooldown, and also damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decrease. That's surprising they're nerfing Fire Blast. I feel like Fire Blast is alright. I mean, it's good. It's the meta build with Fire Spin, right? But I never felt like, yeah, I mean, it's a problem or something. The big problem is Fire Spin, right? And not really Fire Blast though. Delphox taking a very unsurprising nerf rate here. Honestly, didn't expect Delphox to be nerfed. Next up, we have a few of the meta Pokemon being nerfed. Mew now, which is something I didn't expect to see again. But Mew is currently the best attacker, so it does deserve a nerf, doesn't matter what. And yeah, Mew's getting nerfed. Less special attack, not by all too much. It's 50 less special attack on level 15. So the curve is going a bit lower, going into late game. And then we also have the boost auto attack doing less damage. Damage amount 4 to 12% reduction from level 1 to level 15. So also throughout the game, or just in general, it's going to do less damage. And then we also have the Unite move actually getting a damage decrease, which makes no sense. I feel like no one, I mean, you use Mew's Unite to do damage with a Surf Agility or something to finish someone off. But I'm surprised they're actually nerfing the cooldown of the damage of it. Maybe make it higher cooldown. Maybe make the duration of how Mew, you know, how long Mew is invincible a bit less, so that maybe it can't even recall in it either, right? I feel like it just lasts too long, the Mew Unite. But making it reduce damage, these are the kind of nerfs that always make me think that Timmy doesn't play the game, or like the developers don't play the game when I see nerfs like this. I'm gonna be very honest, you know, I don't want to be sounding too rude, but these nerfs just make me be like, yeah, they don't play the game at all, or they don't watch even the content or anything that comes with Pokemon Unite. Next up, finally, Blastoise getting a nerf. It has been time. So frustrating playing against this Pokemon. Hydro Pump, less damage. Also, less stun duration on Blastoise. We have 10% reduction and 1 to 0.6 seconds something as well. I guess probably the end, like the pushback. Oh no, wait, damage amount reduction and then stun duration 1 to 0.6. Okay, so less damage and also, yeah, less stuns. Water Spout. Damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decrease. We also have a Water Spout nerf by 15%, if I see correctly. And then we also have Water Gun nerf for early game, which means more difficult last hitting for Blastoise. And we also have anything else? I mean, there's 4 things on the right side. Not sure. Oh, it's Hydro Pump Plus, right. So, less damage on Hydro Pump, less stun duration on Hydro Pump. We have less damage on Water Spout and less damage on Water Gun. Seems quite good. I like Blastoise being nerfed. It's about time. And then we also have Gyarados now getting a nerf. I was about to upload a video today that said this should be nerfed about Gyarados, but I guess I can kind of leave that video somewhere else now, because it's no longer required, as we have a nerf for Gyarados' Unite move. It now has longer cooldown, which is very fair, because the Unite move had a way too low cooldown. Next up, we actually have a nerf to Glaceon. Move speed increase of Ice Shard being reduced, and also Icicle Spear doing 10% less damage. They were not happy with... I mean, I think Icicle Spear is just too frustrating of a bit to be up against. It just never feels fair. It doesn't matter what happens. You just getting gunned down by Icicle Spear is an absolutely terrible feeling, and it really just doesn't require any skill either to begin with. So yeah, I still think that Icicle Spear would probably be more balanced if it would just stop at some point. Like if there's a maximum range, and then if the enemy runs out of it, it stops. Or the longer it travels, the less damage it does. I think that would maybe be even more reasonable. But also make it maybe, if you're closer to someone, Icicle Spear does more damage. So it takes more risk to play Icicle Spear. I think that would be quite a nice change compared to, yeah, you just lock on someone, and if they run away, well, they're gone anyways, you know? I think that would be quite cool. Then we have Metagross actually getting buffed, which makes me happy because I love Metagross. Can't say that I think it needed buffs, but sure, we're gonna take that, I guess. Gyro Boy getting a 10% damage increase, and we also have Zen Headbutt getting a damage increase, which I don't know if damage on Zen Headbutt really matters. Maybe it should just be... I actually don't know what Zen Headbutt really needs. I think it's quite fine too. It's just that Magnet Rise is quite the strong ability, and Zen Headbutt is very just basic. Just click someone, or a skill shot, and you move towards them, right? It feels like a level 1 to level 3 kind of move. And then we have Cramorant actually getting a buff. We're buffing Dive. Buffing Dive is scary, because Dive Air Slash is already a top-performing build. Again, I think Timmy might not play the game, so that is quite wild to buff Dive by 1 entire second. Very unexpected, but the thing is no one plays Cramorant. It's just unpopular, but it's such a strong Pokemon with this build still. And then we also have a Hurricane buff of 15% increased damage, so they're buffing both Cram builds at the same time. One for Surf Hydro, one for Surf Hurricane, and the other buff for Dive and Air Slash. Kinda scary! Cram might be ramping up when it comes to attacker Pokemon on this patch. And for last, we have a buff to Decidueye, which makes me happy, which means I get more free kills throughout the entire game. We have a Leaf Storm. Effects on opposing Pokemon strengthened, damage dealt to opposing Pokemon increased, so we have a buff on Leaf Storm. I don't know, okay, so cooldown... No, cooldown got lengthened. Okay, wait, they nerfed Leaf Storm. But they buffed the slow effect? Okay, so it has 2-second higher cooldown, it does 30% more damage, but increase the slow from 45 to 60% with a 10% decay every 0.5 seconds up to 4. Slowdown effects that last 2.5. I don't know what I'm reading right now. I have no idea what I'm reading. But I guess TLDR, it slows more, and it has higher cooldown, but it slows more. That's what I'm seeing. Could be quite nice. Helps the Decidueye to maybe live. And we also have a Razor Leaf having a 2%, or not 2%, 2-second cooldown. Yeah, buff. 2-second is cooldown. Okay, I mean, sure, I don't know if that's exactly what it needs, but yeah, gonna give it a try, I guess. But the problem is, like, playing this in solo queue is not really the most enjoyable experience, I gotta say, Razor Leaf. And then we have a Blissey buff. We're buffing Helping Hand to have more attack speed. It's funny to see these on the same page. Like we're getting a Razor Leaf buff, and at the same time also a Helping Hand buff, which is pretty much, you know, the best thing ever for any basic attack Pokemon. So increase attack speed from Helping Hand, move speed increase, and we also have the shield lasting 1 second longer of Safeguard. Sure, I don't know if that's gonna matter at all. This patch, I mean, it seems alright for a patch. It's just like, the problem with these patches is that waiting 1 month for them, it's just not enough. Gonna be very honest. Like, if we have to wait 1 month before, like, for every patch, there have to be at least 20 to 25 Pokemon getting changes. I'm gonna be very honest, having to wait this long for a patch. Otherwise, it looks fine. We have a Blastoise nerf, which is nice. Glacier nerf, so maybe no one plays Glacier anymore, which also would make me quite happy. Tyranitar buffs are kind of scary, maybe, because Tyranitar is a bit of a weird Pokemon. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this patch, rated from 1 to 10. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!